to propose to another while living rent-free in my house that I paid for with my own money?
Not Todd Tucker really out here proposing to another woman while his divorce from Kandi Burruss isn't even settled yet. And not in just any house either. Her house, paid for by her, while he's allegedly living rent-free and now suing her for $10 million. Because according to the mess hitting the streets, Todd moved his side piece into Kandi's guest house, popped the question, and did it all knowing it would send her into a full-blown rage. Sources say Kandi is crashing out, trying to evict him, while Todd is smiling in her face and dragging her into court for alimony. This is petty on a level we have never seen before. Proposals, side pieces, lawsuits, and Kandi footing the bill for all of it. And trust me, it only gets nastier from here, so let's break it down. Okay, so it's starting to look like Todd is determined to frustrate Kandi as much as he can, because him proposing to another woman before their divorce is even halfway through is insane. And what's even worse about it is that there are sources saying that the only reason Todd proposed to his side piece is that he wanted to get under Kandi's skin. See, just a few days before he proposed, there were reports that Kandi was furious at him for living in her house rent-free. And now, he's moving his side piece into her house. Talk about audacity. According to Kandi, not only was he living in her guest house, but he also wasn't contributing anything to the maintenance of the house while he lived there. And as it turns out, the home wasn't the only thing he isn't contributing to, because she's claiming that he's also not contributing to the care of their kids. And what makes this story even wilder is that the guest house where Kandi is living is on a property that Kandi bought before she even got with Todd, so his name isn't even on the deed of the property. According to reports, she says Todd hasn't paid a single expense for the maintenance and upkeep of the home, to include utilities, gas, lawn care, water, pest control, or even fees associated with the alarm system. Making your ex-wife pick up the tab when you're living on her property is some nasty business, but it gets even more diabolical. It turns out that the reason that Kandi was so furious is that she found out that Todd wasn't even living in the guest house alone. Instead, he was living in there with the side piece that he cheated on her with, and then made Kandi pay for the utilities. The audacity. Now, as crazy as this is, it's not the first time we're hearing about Todd cheating on Kandi, because according to reports, his affair was the reason Kandi dumped him and chose to end their marriage. And from the things Kandi herself said, he had been cheating for a while, and their marriage was in trouble for a hot minute before she eventually chose to give up and get a divorce.
Filed for divorce on Friday. And yeah. Right now, it's a pretty crazy time. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I am up and down. You know, obviously going through a divorce is definitely not the easiest thing. You know, sometimes, you know, you're cool, you know what I mean? You move in, you mix in, you move in, and you're hanging out with friends. But then sometimes you have your moments of sadness, you know, and me being the Taurus that I am, I like to keep those moments to myself.
Speaking to People magazine, she said, "This is a difficult and emotional time, but my focus remains on protecting my peace, being the best mother I can be, and co-parenting with love and respect. I'm stepping into a new chapter, pouring into my work, my family, and my own growth." Well, it didn't take too long for the rumor mill to confirm that Todd had, indeed, been slanging that thang all around town with multiple women. See, we found out that he had cheated on Kandi throughout their entire 11-year marriage, and it wasn't even hearsay. Kandi confirmed it herself in an interview with People magazine. Someone close to her said the marriage had been shaky for a while, and Kandi was especially hurt after finding out that Todd had been talking to other women behind her back. Someone from her team said, Kandi and Todd had been having marriage troubles for a while now. Kandi was not happy because she found out that Todd had been talking to other women behind her back. She had no idea. So yeah, she was completely blindsided. And just to add fuel to the fire, Funky Deneva backed it up during one of his live streams, saying Todd was really out here doing the most. Take a listen.
Kandi reportedly discovered Todd was communicating with other women behind her back before filing divorce. She had no idea. And Todd was around somebody's house. Okay? And I got her pictures. I know where she stay. And I know her name. But I don't want to bring no extra stress and duress around Kandi house. So I'ma hold it. I'ma hold it. Her name start with a H. You home wrecking, cause I want you to know I know who you is.
But as People pointed out, She shouldn't have been blindsided because Todd had cheated on her before they got married. In fact, his ex-girlfriend put him on blast on Facebook saying, "My phone been going off all morning about Todd and Kandi. I know. Been known. She has millions, so if I was him, I would shack up with the beat. I said could not sing, and was a trick also. Maybe she will buy him that Rolex and Jag he wants since he did say she just a trick." She also said, "What kills me, he talked hella-ish about her, how she can't sing, he don't care for her music, how she had a fat butt, but her face is all right. He is funny girl, sending me message about how much his misses me, and she is just to help him get into the Atlanta circle." That was a hot mess. But like I said, it wasn't shocking that he had cheated during their marriage. Now, for a while, Todd tried to fight back. And there were reports that he had his team planting stories in the media about how Kandi emasculated him during their marriage. The next thing we knew, we were seeing resurfacing stories about how Kandi let people in her life treat him like trash and talk to him badly. There was this compilation of Kandi's mom, Mama Joyce, talking rudely to Todd.
Even though I do feel you're opportunist.
What do you think I'm getting out of it?
What you getting out of it? Cause let me tell you, ain't no river high enough, ain't no ocean deep enough, ain't no desert hot enough to keep me off your ass, baby.
Okay.
She also didn't hold back on letting him know she had no respect for him at all.
Liking you, I stopped respecting you.
Why was that?
At first, you just seemed to be a working guy, and then after you got with Kandi, it's just like the work stopped.
Even Natalie hinted that Todd was using Kandi as a come-up.
He's trying to be everybody's friend, but she was the one telling Cynthia that your man was an opportunity.
Don't put me in it now. We did have a conversation about it. She knows Todd, and she did say that, you know, he was a hustler. You know, a hustler, which is the same thing as an opportunity.
No, I mean, it's, yeah, well, it could be. If you're saying a hustler is...
Help me understand. What do you mean? Why do you say that he had his way of swerving?
He had his, you know, Todd was always on the, come up. Always found himself in a better situation.
Natalie, don't water it down.
Honestly, you seem sweet, but you're doing the same thing to Kandi that she just did to you. That's her fiance, and you're calling out her fiance in a way about cheating on her.
No. And that wasn't what was said, Kandi. That wasn't what was said at all. That was just the past.
You trying me right now. You trying me.
The fact that all these old details started popping up right after Kandi exposed him for cheating on her had people speculating that he had indeed cheated on Kandi and was trying to do some damage control by making her out to be the bad guy. Well, fast forward to now, and not only is he still with the side chick, but he's living with her in Kandi's house. And when Kandi asked him to move out of the house, he got mad and had the audacity to call her out for not letting him live rent-free in her house with his new boo thing. And y'all wouldn't believe the excuse he gave. According to him, the only reason he's living in the guest house is that she kicked him out of the main house. Sources reported that, in his filing, Todd admitted he was living in the guest house. But he said it was because Kandi unilaterally removed him from the main home by directing her family members to relocate his stuff without his consent and without court intervention. Todd said he did not voluntarily leave the home, but did not fight Kandi about it in order to preserve peace and stability. He then accused Kandi of running a smear campaign against him. Insiders reported that he says Kandi has been making nasty statements against him in an effort to shift the focus away from her extended and ongoing physical absence from the kids and her reliance on a third-party caregiver. Todd says the judge should give him primary legal and physical custody on a temporary basis until a permanent parenting arrangement is put in place. Now, this is where things get petty. It turns out that Kandi can't kick Todd out legally, and they're going to fight it out in court. In the meantime, he's determined to get under her skin. And word on the streets is that he just proposed to his side piece. You know, the same side piece who lives with him in the same house that Kandi is paying for. And according to a source, he succeeded in getting under Kandi's skin because Kandi has been crashing out on him, flipping things and raging at him. Sources are saying that she has officially started the process of getting him evicted from the guest house, but given that the case is still in court, that's probably not going to go her way. Oh, but it gets even worse, because not only is Todd going to live in her house, but it also seems like he plans to fund their lifestyle with Kandi's money. He's suing her for alimony and asking for $10 million. If Kandi was mad before, boy, she is about to blow up. So at this point, this isn't even about closure. This is about control, money, and pure spite. Todd is living in her house, proposing to the woman he cheated with, and then turning around to demand $10 million like he's the victim in all of this. That's not bold. That's diabolical. And Kandi is clearly done playing nice. The eviction threats, the court filings, the rage bubbling over. You can tell this crossed a line she didn't even know existed. Because one thing about Kandi, she will protect her money, her kids, and her peace. Now the real question is this. Does Todd actually think this ends in his favor? Or is he about to learn the hard way that you do not poke someone who built an empire from scratch? Because if this is how messy it already is, just wait until that courtroom door closes. This story is far from over.